She says that I look fat. I felt kind of insecure over there. That's kind of like why I stopped hanging out with. Hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the long-awaited, highly requested girl talk. When you're like way too cheap to buy some sound effects for your editing, I'm gonna be sitting down in a second, but I just want you guys to know where my brain cells are at, and they are on this bed. They are flipped upside down. I don't even know if I have any left, so this video is about to be a doozy. Hi. Guys, we're bringing back the girl talks, and let me tell you something. This is just one of those things that I never thought I was gonna bring back onto this channel. I actually started the girl talks like maybe 2 years ago when I just started my main channel. This channel didn't even exist, bitch. It was on my main channel and I had gotten drunk, I was drinking alcohol, I was responding to y'all's DMs. It was so comfortable, it was so homey, and I loved everything about it. But then I made this channel, and then I just felt like all of my vlogs were girl talks. Like at the end of the day, if you boil it down, like sure, like Biz goes to Target, like Biz goes grocery shopping, but I'm still like talking to you guys about like how I'm feeling. I thought it would be kind of repetitive to do a girl talk, but then I realized that there are some things going on in my life that I just haven't been able to talk about in vlogs for whatever the reason. And I think it's mainly like usually when I'm vlogging, I'm like running around town. Like I'm literally not gonna sit on like aisle number 10 inside of Target like crying next to the Kleenex and just like starts using Kleenex, you know. It didn't make sense, and so I wouldn't talk about these things, and then I would pretty much like shelf them in my little emotional storage box. Wow, poetic. And now I feel like they're busting. I have so much to talk to you guys about. It all starts with Cardi B, my own goddamn mother, and like a girl that I knew from like a couple years ago. It's gonna be a crazy talk. There's so many things involved. This is not the video for you if you guys are not into shit like this, like first world problems. If that's not your style, please click out of this video, because also I think that's another reason I stopped doing girl talks, because I feel like everything I'm gonna say is gonna sound so stupid. Like I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, there's a pimple on my face and it just like really hurts my self-esteem. I'm like, wow, pimple, you're really trying me today, you know? And then people are gonna be like, Stephanie, there are people dying, and that's why I stopped these videos, because they sound so stupid. Even when I say it out loud, I'm like, you're an idiot, you know? We're just gonna kind of get into it. This is my goal for this video, is that I'm gonna be a lot more mellow in this video too. So hopefully you guys don't mind that, but I'm gonna start this video with a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, and a lot of like insecurities. I think that's gonna be like the main thing of today. I have so many insecurities I have to talk to you guys about, which just, it came out of nowhere. I go through phases, and we'll get into that, but at the end of this video, I want to be the girl that lives in my apartment building. Okay, this sounds so creepy, but the other day I went downstairs to the little clubhouse, and so there was a girl sitting in the clubhouse, and she was maybe like a couple years older than me, and I think she was studying. I'm not even sure what she was doing. She had a laptop, she had an iPad, she had her phone, and all of it was playing like really light jazz music. And the minute that we stepped in, I don't know if she was trying to feel our vibe, if she was trying to like DJ the shit out of it, but she starts blasting, I shit you not, 50 Cent's Candy Shop, like just blasting that shit. And I haven't heard that song in like a bajillion years, and so I'm sitting there like, what is happening? It's like literally 11 at night, and she starts playing it, and not only does she play it, but there's like people walking in and out of this clubhouse. We're sitting maybe like 3 feet away from her, and she just starts singing along to 50 Cent's rap. And that's when I was like, listen, Biz, I want your confidence. And that is how I hope to end today's video. I'm gonna get my ranting through, and like maybe this will help like maybe at least one of you guys, and then I'm gonna be 50 Cent's Candy Shop. Like that's pretty much the goal of tonight. Deadass, my mom called me, like I want to say, hold on, what time is it right now? It's like 7 o'clock, and my mom called me at 6:41, so like 20 something minutes ago, and she asked me if I gained weight because she says that I look fat. And I don't hate my mom for it. Like, I'm not mad at my mom for it. It's just who my mom is, and I think a lot of Korean moms are like this, or maybe even Asian moms, or maybe not even Asian moms, just certain moms in particular are like this. My mom is a very, very thin woman. She's always been a skinny legend. Like, even when she was pregnant. Like, you know those annoying people who are pregnant, but only their belly looks pregnant and their face doesn't look pregnant and everything else stays the same, which is just not really feasible. Like, I think like 1 in a million women look like that. Most people don't. And she was always that lady. So she's always kind of intense about like weight and stuff, and she's just, yeah, she's great. I know she's watching this, but like, Bushkid was poppin', mom. I think I'm okay. No, it's like, it's hard because I know that she means well and I know she's just trying to help me, but then like sometimes I think it's snow piled. So usually my mom will do this and usually I don't care. Usually I'm like picking up the phone like, yeah, so what if I gained some weight? Bye. And I hang up on her and I act like nothing happened because to me it doesn't bother me. But I think right now specifically, I'm in a very interesting space in my life for the past. This all started in Korea, by the way, and like it's kind of slowly getting better since I got back from Korea. But when I was in Korea, like the last couple of days, it was bad. And there was a point where in my vlog, this is all gonna make sense. I mean, there's so many things that tie together in my brain of mine that like right now I'm just trying to like gather my thoughts, right? But even when I was in Korea, there was this one vlog where I had spent about 45 minutes at the end trying to end the vlog, but then I went on this tangent slash ramble slash just, I don't even know what that shit show was, of me sitting in my Korean hotel bathtub to be exact, just talking about like mini bags, like mini purses, like business in their mini purses. Like it was so stupid. And I was like, this is not getting my feelings across correctly. So I completely scrapped all of that and now we're gonna talk about it. But this story actually begins with a girl and we're gonna call her Leslie. That's not her real name. I have nothing against Leslie. Leslie and I didn't really have a falling out. It wasn't because like something happened, we got into a fight, we hate each other or anything like that. It was just, I have become someone that's really into, I am a Game of Thrones person. No, hear me out. Oh my god, I'm like so scatterminded right now. But I am a huge believer in being like the Night's Watch, but for my environment. Like I'm very strict on like who I befriend these days because I know that I soak in people's energy. So if you are a happy person, I will be happier around you. If you are not a happy person, I won't be like depressed, but I will slowly kind of calm down around you. Like over time, I kind of mold into who the energy of the person next to me. I have been a real crazy person about guarding my environment. So like if you are someone, obviously if I have a friend and you're going through a tough time, I'm not like, oh my god, your energy is whack, I can't hang out with you. Could you imagine? They take things way too seriously, right? And Leslie was kind of one of those people, and that's kind of why we definitely drifted apart. She was very into competition between friends, which I'm not into at all. Like I don't fuck with that. I don't even like having friendly competition in friendships because I feel like it could always spin out into something. Like I feel like girls were already so competitive as it is. I want to take that extra step to make sure that I don't feel any competition towards my closest girlfriends because it wouldn't make sense. Like I never feel like I'm competing with Patricia with anything because I just want both of us to do well, right? But Leslie was kind of not like that, which is fine, right? And so I meet Leslie first and she had this best friend of hers, let's call her Rebecca, okay? And she's known Rebecca since like she was in kindergarten. They were like high-fiving in diapers. And I was introduced to Rebecca. She's a super sweet girl. She kind of reminds me of Leslie in the fact that they both kind of have this mentality of like, they're very into their bodies, which isn't bad. Like I'm not saying like they're like, oh my god, I look so fine every day, but they're very into their bodies and like everything they eat, they want to get a certain amount of exercise every day, which I'm kind of like that too, but I'm not as strict when it comes to eating, obviously. So Leslie and Rebecca and I, we started hanging out a lot more frequently, and it wasn't even because they loved me, I don't think. It was honestly because Rebecca was really close friends with Leslie. I was slowly getting close to Leslie, and they were always together. Leslie and I were always trying to hang out, so we just all automatically, the three of us, started hanging out constantly. And the thing with Leslie is, she always did this thing that from the beginning, since I met her, I thought it was really weird. Like, it was just weird. So when you show up to a restaurant, you know how you start conversing about what you want to order, right? So let's say like you get to Mendocino, let's say you get to Chipotle, okay? And while you're waiting in line, you haven't gotten to the first person in the Chipotle burrito assembly line, right? You're just in the back and you're waiting to talk to somebody, and you guys are asking each other like, oh, what are you gonna get today? Like, what are you craving? Like, we just got to Chipotle. Should we get chips and guac on the side? Are you getting a burrito? Are you getting a burrito bowl, right? And Leslie would do this thing where she would be like, oh my god, I'm gonna get like a burrito with like guacamole. Oh my god, I'm craving so much sour cream right now. Like, guys, like, don't you think sour cream sounds so delicious? Which I know you're gonna say sounds so weird after what I told you about Leslie so far, right? And so then she would say all of these things, and then we would get to the line, and like, let's say Leslie was standing closest to the employee that takes your first order. She would kind of like scoot herself and be like, whoa, wait, I'm not ready yet. And then so we would go first. So like Rebecca, her childhood best friend, would go, and then me, and we would make our order, right? And like Leslie would go and she would order something that she completely did not want to order. Like, it's very weird. So like, we'd be talking, she's like, I want a burrito, sour cream, guacamole, freaking extra chicken that bits, you know, with some chips on the side, with a freaking apple juice. And then she would get to order and she'd be like, yeah, can I have a salad? No rice, like nothing, like I just want lettuce leaves. Like, I used to be like, oh, you know, she probably was craving the burrito, but she decided last minute that she should be healthier. Like, what's the tea in that, right? But then it started getting really, really weird, to the point where like the dynamic of those two girls was getting funny and I could sense it. Like, sometimes it wouldn't go down like this, but I don't know if this was all in my head, because you know how like sometimes when you see someone do something weird and then you're like, I wonder if everybody else notices it. But the more that we would hang out, like the more tense it would get every time we go out to eat. And they would pretty much start fighting over who orders first. And so automatically I would just always order first, because what the hell are you guys fighting about? This is stupid. Like, I don't understand. Like, if we all need more time to look at the menu, we need more time to look at the menu. But they started getting really weird of like, they both know what they want, but they were both waiting for each other to order first. I remember this day vividly when I tried to ask what was going on, because this had been going on for months and months and months, and I just felt really uncomfortable hanging out with both of them when we were at restaurants, because you know, like when girls, like if you're in a group of girls and two girls are in a passive aggressive like power struggle type of fight, you can sense it. Like, we're not stupid, like we feel these things, you know, we're pretty intuitive, biz. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know that I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy enough to imagine this tension up in my mind, you know, like this is happening, like I just don't know why. And so I decide one day, like Leslie was dropping me off because she had picked me up to go meet Rebecca at this mall, and we were gonna eat and like shop around and stuff. And so she's on her way to drop me off, we're both in the car together, and I just kind of asked her, because at this point, like I had said, I only knew Rebecca through Leslie, so I didn't feel any type of like, not like loyalty, but like I just wanted to know, like I felt comfortable enough to ask Leslie, like, are you guys okay? Like, what's going on with you guys? I know you guys have been childhood friends and I just came into the picture, but are you guys tense? Are you guys fighting? I don't understand. And so I just wanted to make sure that I'm not a crazy lady and I'm not imagining things. So I straight up asked her in the car, and the way that she started to explain it, at first it made a lot of sense. At first it was like saying like, oh, like she always wants to copy my order when we go out to eat at restaurants, and it's so annoying. And so I'm like, oh, like, okay, I mean, I don't understand why you're so annoyed. I didn't say that, obviously, because the girl didn't have any kahunas. But I was just thinking in my head, like, I don't know why she's annoyed about it, but I kind of get it. Because, like, if Patricia and I go to a restaurant and she's like, I'm ordering the pasta, then I'm going to be like, okay, you order the pasta, I'll order the pizza, and we can share. Like, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to order the same thing, so you can, like, share the different types of food. And so I'm like, okay, that's a little bit weird, though. No need to, like, make a tense fight out of it. So I'm just like, oh, I don't get it. Like, I literally told her, I just don't get it. Like, explain to me. Like, you just want to share food? I don't get it. And then she was trying to explain that her and Rebecca had always been in this relationship where Rebecca will always lose weight if Leslie loses weight. And I was like, what? And she's like, every time I go on a diet, she has to go on the same exact diet as me. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't know why that's so bad though, because like if I'm on a diet, I would want my friend to be on the same diet, not because I think she needs to diet, but because like it'll be easier. Like I could be like, hey, don't you crave hot Cheetos too? And then we can cry about how we can't eat hot Cheetos together. But then she's like, no, it's so annoying because I know if we go to Chipotle, like freaking Rebecca wants the burrito, but because I'm ordering the salad, she'll get a salad. And I'm like, oh, like, I mean, isn't that good though? Because then you're influencing her to make healthy salad choices. So then she was going on to explain like the reason that she always wants us to order first, it's like she wants us to get what we want, and then she'll kind of even, that's the part where I kind of was noped out of this entire discussion, was the fact that I always sensed the fact that she was hyping us up for food. Like she'd be like, oh yeah, let's get like so many pastas, aren't you guys craving pastas, pasta this, pasta that. You would think she's literally hashtag sponsored by carbs, right? Which would be a dream, by the way. But then she would say all of these things, and then we would order, and because she's talking about pastas, but obviously both Rebecca and I are like, oh, pasta sounds good, we'll order pasta, and then it'll get around to Leslie and she'll be like, I'll have a salad. So it was just kind of weird. And so then she was explaining like she always wants Rebecca to order first so that she can't copy her order, and she always copies her order, and it drives her crazy. And I just that blew my mind. So like, to simplify things, because the way that I'm explaining it sounds stupid. I mean, this is stupid, but I am sucky at explaining this. Like, literally my last brain cell is even like in here like, what did she just say? But essentially, Leslie didn't like the fact that Rebecca would try to be healthy with her. Like, I feel like what Leslie was doing, and like all the other things that she did in her life, and then with Rebecca, and like how she always like talked about things with her, it seemed like Leslie wanted Rebecca to eat a burrito while she ate a salad, so that she could feel like, oh, this girl is getting fat and I'm gonna be skinny. And they were friends since kindergarten. And it's just like crazy the amount of like competition that was in their friendship. And so that's kind of like why I stopped hanging out with Leslie, just because like we had so much fun together and we got along well. We had a lot of similarities. We always like had the same sense of humor, but it's just when you're like that competitive with one of your closest friends since kindergarten, I can't even imagine like how our friendship would develop over time. Like, I just don't think I want to be in a friendship like that. And then when I was in Korea, I randomly thought about her, which is so weird because like, it's so crazy how your brain works. She lives in LA and I didn't even see her in LA. Like, I haven't really run into her at all. And I haven't really talked to her in forever since like all of this happened. And in Korea, I see this girl and she looks exactly like Leslie. And I literally shat myself. I don't know why. Like, it's not like something happened between us. It's not like we hate each other. I was like, why am I nervous if that were Leslie to see her and like to run into her? I don't know. It's stupid. But it wasn't even Leslie. So like my mind was like, I don't know if my mind was tricking myself to see Leslie because of all the things that were already happening in Korea. And so I was just thinking about like my time with Leslie, like how weird that was. And then it just kind of tied in because Korea is one of those places. If you guys have never been to Korea, I'm just gonna kind of break it down for you guys. I feel like the average weight of Korean girls that I saw in the areas that I was hanging out in, which I feel like different areas cater to different types of people. Average weight in Los Angeles is probably a lot less. Like, the girls are skinnier here than they are in Atlanta, Georgia. And that's just the thesis, you know? And so I'm sure different parts of Korea are different. But because I was in Korea and I was surrounded by so many women who were super thin, I just started to feel like, holy shit, I feel kind of thick here. Like, not in a good way. Like, I don't feel like a Kim Kardashian of Korea. I feel a little bit hefty here for some strange reason, and it was so stupid. And like, the worst part of all of this, it would be one thing to feel that way and feel shitty about myself, but I felt even shittier about myself for even feeling that way. So it would go from me going, man, I feel a little bit fat, to, man, I feel a little bit, oh my god, Stephanie, you are not fat. What the fuck is wrong with you? You need help. Like, I literally would feel guilty over having self-esteem problems. And it's not even the fact that I think that these girls were so thin and like they were like light and just frail looking or whatever. I think it had to do with the way that they present themselves. I have always gotten bullied for this, like elementary school, middle school, and even now. A lot of the times, a lot of the reasons that certain guys don't like me too is because I'm known to be very like Bushkid. That's like a word in Korean that I've heard so many times in my life. And Bushkid is not aggressive, but kind of like the mixture of aggressive and loud, and somebody who isn't super dainty. Like, your typical definition of a girl is not Bushkid. Like, they're feminine, they know how to speak, they know how to walk, like they're very full of class, and they're not loud. They're very, like, even in Korea, like itching your arm like this is not really known as a classy thing. Like, itch going like this, I mean, I think that's almost everywhere. It's not like, no one's gonna look at you and be like, wow, this girl's so sophisticated, you know? It's just, it's a little bit more strict over there. And so I've always been told, especially by Asians, that I'm Bushkid. And that's been an insecurity of mine until I grew up in high school, and I was like, who gives a shit, right? But when I went to Korea, I started to realize just how Bushkid I really was. Because I would be on the subways. These girls, they're so put together. Like, their hair was, not a hair was out of place. They were wearing these cute ass trench coats. They had mini bags, mini purses. I'll never understand the concept of that. Like, where do you even put your shit? Like, do you not have shit to put? Like, that is like the most feminine thing I've ever seen. I just don't understand a mini bag, okay? I don't want to get mad about it. I almost bought a mini bag, literally almost spent $80 on a mini bag that I knew that I would never use because I have so much shit to carry. I gotta bring my backup cameras, my backup batteries, my wallet, you know, I got a lot of stuff, my tripod. I have so much stuff that I throw into my ginormous bag every single day that it's like buying this $80 mini bag would be a stupid financial decision. But still, there I was inside of the store debating for like an hour if I wanted to buy this mini bag because every girl in Korea was carrying a mini bag. And the way they carried it, I don't even know if this is making sense, but they're so freaking dainty. The way that they just kind of like, it's a good thing, okay? I'm not like shitting on them. I'm not like being a jealous hoe, slightly. But like they're just so dainty and like classy the way that they hold their bag. And it's just the comparison of standing by so many of them that are so put together. I'm sure they're not put together on the weekends or when they're at home, but it's just everything that I saw when I was outside on the subway in the streets. Like you always see in Korea, it's not weird to see girls constantly fixing their face and their makeup and their hair, which is kind of weird to see in the States. Like if you go out in LA and you see a girl and she's just on her, like checking her hair, you might not be like, oh my god, she's so cute. You might just be like, oh girl, like you look fine, don't even, you know? But that was not the case in Korea. And so I just felt I felt like a beggar. I don't know how to explain it. Like I just felt so loud and obnoxious in that country that's supposed to be the motherland. And so it felt really uncomfortable. Yeah, I felt kind of insecure over there. It really didn't even have to do with the weight. I will say though, it was annoying that their clothes only came one size. Like if you go shopping, most of the clothes that I saw were free size, they call it. I think it's just so crazy how environment changes you, because when I was here, like before I went to Korea, I didn't feel any type of way. I didn't feel like I needed to have a mini bag and be wearing a trench coat and like have my hair on fleek and be skinny. Like I didn't feel any of that. But like when I was in Korea, like the first couple of days, I was totally fine. I was just so busy exploring Korea. I was so busy getting lost in the food, a little too lost in the food. But then the last couple of days, like the more I was surrounded by all of these really pretty girls, I was like, fuck. I was supposed to see Cardi B, and I was supposed to see her. It doesn't mean she was gonna see me, but I was really excited for it. I got invited to Fashion Nova and Cardi B's launch party where Cardi B, YG, like just so many people were gonna be performing. Blueface, Biz, Bust Down Tatiana, like I was gonna be there like busting it down, and I got invited. I was so freaking excited. I RSVP'd that day. Right before I went, I filmed a haul from Fashion Nova and I was trying on all these clothes and I was so feeling myself. You guys are gonna see that video and like, oh my god, my ass was out the entire video, my boobs were out the entire video. I was literally, I'm gonna name that haul Tatiana Biz. Like that's who I was. I was channeling her. She was inside of me and I felt really good. I felt amazing about myself. And then I went onto Instagram and I follow a couple of Instagrammers who are so gorgeous. I mean, I think most of the people I follow on Instagram are gorgeous, but I follow a couple that were really gorgeous and that were also going to the event, right? And so I see them get ready and they just looked, at the moment, I just felt like I couldn't go. Like I felt like I physically didn't belong there. I was like, no, this is not the place for me. So I'm the type of person where if a brand invites me out to lunch or something, I get super excited because I really like meeting other influencers at places like lunch because I feel like they can get to know me, I can get to know them, you know, maybe they'll like my personality. Like I feel like if anything, I'm not really being sold on my looks. I'm kind of being more sold on like, oh, she's kind of, you know, fun sometimes. Like that's kind of my selling point. It's not really my ass or my face or anything like that. And so I like more environments like that. And then this environment is obviously not the one where I could just pull some girls to the side and be like, hey, do you want to hear a joke? You know, it's gonna be more of like the environment where everybody's Insta-storing, everyone's dancing, everybody's drinking. Okay, well, I can't go see Cardi B and go to this free concert. I don't know how much Cardi B concert tickets are, but I'm sure it's freaking expensive, and go to this really cool, really intimate, like not a crazy like Staples Center, just packed environment. Like this is a very intimate concert with just, you know, couple hundred people. Like that's supposed to be amazing. I'm supposed to love this. I'm supposed to be so excited. I'm supposed to vlog this, Insta story this, and I didn't go. I'm so annoyed with myself. I think honestly, what happened with Leslie, whatever, it's in the past. What happened in Korea, shit happened happens. Sometimes you have some off weeks where you feel a little bit bloated, where you're like, maybe I shouldn't have eaten so many freaking dumplings, but what are you gonna do? You're in Korea and the dumplings are amazing, right? And I think all of that happened, and I just shouldn't have prevent me from shaking my non-existent ass to Cardi B singing live. Oh my god, I'm gonna regret that for such a long time. I literally let my thoughts get in the way of me twerking to Bodak Yellow in real life. Holy shit, Stephanie Sue. That's pretty much the moral of today's story. No, but I think sometimes you just have to like go through these things, and I think I'm glad that I miss Cardi B, because now it's like my anger for missing Cardi B will prevent me from feeling shitty in the near future. I'm more annoyed. Like, my feeling of being annoyed at myself for missing my chance to see Cardi B is so much stronger than my feeling of like, oh my god, I don't look like an Instagram girl, or I don't have ginormous titties, you know? So next time, I'm just gonna keep that in mind. Let me know if you guys have weeks like this. Like, what kind of triggers you? Leave it in the comments. Maybe it'll help to like vent it out. It always helps me. That's why I make these videos that literally nobody has any business clicking on, because it's so just, what the fuck is this video? I am so sorry. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's girl talk. Let me know in the comments if you guys want more of these, or do you guys want more like girl talks where I respond to y'all's DMs, maybe your emails, maybe your life stories. Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh!